Hello rainbows! Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be doing a complete hair overhaul. My hair has been just very neglected recently. As you guys know, I'm a stay-at-home mum, life is hectic, and I basically put myself last and put my hair last. Always. So my hair has been very neglected, very dry, dehydrated, just breaking and just not looking good even when I style it. So today I'm going to do the ultimate like hair spa, hair rescue remedy for very dry, damaged hair. Of course, if your hair isn't dry or damaged, you can still follow this video and get some great tips from it. I'm going to be sharing all of my hairdressing knowledge with you guys and just lots of little tips and tricks that can really help improve the condition of your hair. So let's just get right into it. We're going to be doing a deep conditioning, hydrating hair treatment. We're going to also be doing a toning hair treatment shampoo mask to really bring the brightness and vitality back to my hair. This is the after results if you guys haven't noticed. I mean, yes. And at the end, we are also going to be doing a trim. I'm going to teach you guys how to trim your own hair, how to target split ends, and if your hair is very thick and bulky, how to actually just thin your hair out. So all of this you can do at home. There will also be a giveaway attached at the end of the video, and you can win yourself one of 5 hair care packs for your very own, thanks to 18 in 1. So let's just get into it. So I'll show you guys what I am working with. I mean, I think my hair has definitely been worse. It's not like as bad as what it's been, but being a stay-at-home mum, I have just really neglected my hair a lot. My hair basically lives in a bun. I very rarely brush it. I very rarely do treatments, and going to a salon, I mean, what is that, honestly? Of course, going to a salon is going to be the ultimate. It's going to be luxury, it's going to be enjoyable, and you're going to have an amazing time. I myself am a qualified hairdresser, so I know that, you know, going to a salon is amazing. I know that you pay for the service, you pay for the years of experience. At the same time, being a stay-at-home mum, I understand that it's not in everybody's budget, and I feel like everyone deserves to feel and look amazing, whether you can afford to go to a salon or not. So today I'm sharing all the good stuff with you. So let's just have a look at my hair. It has been through a lot recently, as I said, especially at my last massive color change. Oh lordy, so I have not touched my hair in a really long time. I haven't had my hair cut in like well over a year. I haven't stepped foot in a salon for a very long time. So as much as I want to keep my hair long today, I do need to trim off the dead. There's no point having long hair if it's not in good condition. There's a lot of bleach in here. It's very dehydrated. It is very dry. It's just feeling like a lackluster, and even when I do straighten or style it, you can tell it just looks matte. There's no shine to it. It's just and it knots and tangles very easily. I just also have just so much like just going on with my hair. If you guys have seen some of my most recent videos, I know this may be a little bit triggering, but I'm going to talk about it briefly. Sadly, I had a miscarriage 3 weeks ago, and I have noticed such a toll that it has taken on my hair, not only for the surgery and the anesthetics and stuff like that, but one thing that happens with miscarriage as well as when you're postpartum is you lose hair. You also get lots of kind of almost new growth. So I've had so many like weird fluffies, short pieces. I've even noticed like all these bits, like look at this. What is that? What is that? So even like all these pieces around my hairline, it's either new growth or they're snapping. Like my hair's just honestly been shocking recently. Oh my God. Yeah, we're fixing it. We're gonna fix it. That being said, let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is a very deep conditioning, repairing, just the ultimate hair care treatment. This is where it can get a little bit tricky or a little bit kind of pricey. The product I'm about to show you is for hairdressers only. You can purchase it online, just be sure to do your research so you don't actually get fakes, or you can purchase the take-home version from salons to use yourself at home. But this is honestly the ultimate, and what it is Olaplex. This is the traveling stylist kit. You obviously don't have to purchase it in this quantity. I think you can get obviously smaller batches. I think for this particular one was about $135, and you do get a lot of product in it. So this is going to be the standalone treatment. No, this is not number 3. Number 3 is the take-home version when you go to a salon. This is what they will use in your hair at the salon. So today we're going to do number 1 laid with number 2. And I know this is probably sounding all gibberish if you guys have never heard of Olaplex, but basically what Olaplex is it's insurance for your client's hair. It is actually like it rebuilds the bonds in your hair. So if your hair is bleached, if your hair is damaged, if your hair is feeling lackluster, just meh, this is actually going to go in and help to rebuild those bonds, make your hair stronger, make it healthier, shinier, just more alive and more amazing. Today we are going to use number 1, which is the bond multiplier, and number 2, which is the bond perfector. This is number 1 right here. Looks like pea. Yummy. So basically what you do is you mix some of this in with water, use a squirty bottle, use whatever you want, and basically lay it all throughout your hair. You want 3 ounces of water, which is 90 mils of water, and half an ounce or 15 mil of the number 1. Okay, so I have my diluted Olaplex here, and now we are going to apply. It is best if you can put this in a squirty bottle to apply it. It's just going to be so much easier. Do you think I can find one? No. So I'm going to basically dip my ends into it and just go in with either a brush and just try and saturate my hair. So it can get messy, probably best to have a towel close by. Anyone wondering where my child is? Stay-at-home mum, and you're like, well, where's your kid? She's at daycare today. So I am mainly focusing on the ends, and of course I'm going to be doing all up in this hairline, but you want to get all those mid-length ends saturated first before you move up to your roots, because the mid-lengths and ends are the oldest parts of your hair. They've seen the most damaged. They've been around. They've seen a lot. It is important to say as well that, you know, with everything, especially stuff like this, this is a chemical. You need to read the manufacturer's directions, you need to follow the instructions, even do a skin test prior, because this isn't just like conditioner, this is chemicals.
Don't tell me how you feel, so quiet laying next to me. The silence souvenir, letting you go, letting you go. Keep craving you the days that you don't want me, like searching for some heat inside a cold breeze. On and on forever, won't you hold me? Now won't you hold me?
Okay, so this initial treatment needs to stay on for a minimum of 5 minutes. I'm going to go 10, and then what we do is we go in with the number 2 over the top and layer it. So I'm basically just going to put a clip in my hair, maybe put some cling wrap on there, and just let it marinate. Alrighty, that has been baking for a while. So the next thing I'm going to go in with is the Olaplex number 2. So this is the bond multiplier. So normally with color services, you would do number 1 in with the color, you'd rinse it off, and then you'd go in with number 2. But for the standalone, we are going to layer it over the top. Don't use too much if you can, like try and use as little as possible. I'm definitely using more than this. Just try and like make it spread, because it is expensive, and if you can make it last, that is awesome.
Cause baby I try to tell lies. Now I could spell them out if I still tried. Cause I don't care as long as you're there, as long as you're there.
Alright, so we're going to let that process. So this does process for longer than the number 1. It recommends for a minimum of 10 minutes, or longer when treating compromised hair. So I'm going to maybe double it again and go 20 minutes. So of course you can comb this through, you can brush it through, but just be very, very careful, especially if your hair is damaged. When your hair's wet or damp, it's in its weakest state. So I'm just basically going to run it through with my fingers and leave it at that. It is now time to wash this off. Now, as I said earlier, because this is a chemical, you do need to shampoo it out of your hair. So for my shampoo and my treatment mask today, I'm going to be using the brand 18-in-1. I've been using this brand for years and I absolutely love it. Oh, Bill, he's going off. This is salon quality products, but they are at a fraction of the price. They are absolutely incredible, and you can purchase these from AMR Hair Beauty. So I will have the link to these in the description box below, and these are going to be what are in the giveaway. So they do have many products within their range. Today I'm going to be using some of their toning products. So this is their Intense Violet Shampoo and their Intense Violet Treatment Mask. They do also have a blue range, which is really good for darker hair. If you do throw a lot of orange, this is going to really help combat any yellow that comes out of my hair. So I want to read this to you guys just to tell you what the brand is about. So it's 18-in-1, is giving you 18 benefits in one bottle. So this is their argan oil, keratin, kakadu plum and amino acid product. It is sulfate free, paraben free and salt free, which is amazing for your hair, especially if you are a type of person that shampoos daily. You want to cut back on parabens, salts and sulfates because they're really going to dry out your hair. It provides deep nourishing and is enriched with 18 benefits to revitalize your hair in one shampoo. Say goodbye to dry, weak and damaged hair. So this is an Australian company. I do have an affiliate with these, and just in full disclaimer, these products have been sent to me. I'm not getting paid for this review. This is just my 100% honest opinion. So I do have a affiliate link, which I will have in the description box below, and I do get a kickback from that from memory. Anyway, enough talking. Sorry. I know there's a lot of people out there that really love to know about the product, not just how it smells or how it works, but actually what's in it, or for lack of a better word, what's not in it in this range. All right, so I have just rinsed all of that out. Look at that color. Oh my gosh. Ooh. So this does have a really beautiful scent to it. It is kind of like a perfumey, fruity maybe scent. It's very, very dark. Of course you can wear gloves if you wish, but the quicker you apply it, the more even it will tone your hair. So basically I am just rubbing it in, and it says that you can leave this for like 5 minutes or so. Bear in mind, if you are super, super white naturally with your hair, it's going to tone very quickly. And if your hair is damaged, it's going to grab quite quickly. So of course it will fade and will wash out, but it can overtone your hair at first. So it's always a good idea to work quickly. You can also scrape the shampoo off and you can see what color it is. So I'm going to rinse this off, and I'll be rinsed the shampoo off. I'm going to towel dry my hair as much as, I mean, honestly, look how much that has toned already. Wow. So I'm just going to squeeze as much moisture out of my hair as possible. I'm not going to, rub like that, because that's going to disrupt the cuticle of your hair. So you just want to like be very, very gentle. As well, the temperature of the water, I always have it not like scalding hot. You don't want it to be too hot. Any extreme temperature is going to damage your hair. So now we're going to use the treatment mask. So again, this is violet toning, but because it is that treatment mask, it also has a very, very thick, luxurious consistency to it, and it's going to just really sink and melt into your hair and just transform it. So of course, if you can't get your hands on Olaplex or you can't afford it, I know it's very expensive, even just doing this treatment mask on its own. There is a blue toning mask. There is also a detox mask. And I think there's one in the hydrating range as well. So if you don't have blonde hair, there's going to be a mask there for you that will work for you. This is going to do an amazing job as well. So again, I'm basically coating this all over my hair. I do like to go in with a hairbrush just to help detangle my hair while it's nice and supple from all that toning mask. So again, because this is a toning mask, I wouldn't leave this on for like an hour. You can if you want, but it is definitely going to tone your hair. It is a very, very intense, strong toning mask. So it does recommend for 1 to 10 minutes, ideal for a level 9 to 10, but it's suitable for all blonde hair types. Of course, if you have dark hair, you can use this as well, but I do feel the No Orange is going to be a better toning product. So I'm just going to leave this on for a few minutes, give it a little brush, and just make sure it is really evenly applied. And then we're going to rinse it off and haircut time. All right, we have rinsed off. Always what I do at the very end of rinsing my hair is just do a little burst of cool water, not like ice cold, but just cool, to really help seal all of those cuticles and give your hair lots of shine as well. Oh, look at me. Okay, so I personally like to cut my own hair dry. Clients' hair, I do always start wet, dry it off, and then do some more layering and just texturizing when it's dry, so I can really see how it's sitting and how it's moving. But for me personally, when I'm doing my own hair, I do find it easier to work with when it's dry and straightened as well. It is entirely up to you what you want to do, but if you do tend to wear your hair straight, then definitely go ahead, dry it, straighten it. It's just easier. If you do have naturally textured curly hair, then I would probably just let it dry into its natural state and do it from there. That way you can see when it's dry how it's going to sit, how it's going to move, and everything like that. And bear in mind that when your hair is wet, it does sit a little bit longer, and then when it dries, it is going to bounce up. So I just feel when it's dry, so much easier. So before we do that, I am going to add some extra product into my hair. This little baby is a new one. I haven't used it that much, but it is a new addition, and I think when you don't have time to fully go in and do treatments and toning masks, this is amazing for blondes. This is the 18-in-1 Argan Oil, Quinoa, Kakadu Plum, and amino acids. This is a leave-in toning treatment. So this baby is a treatment. It's leave-in, and look, it's purple. So this is going to tone your hair as well, just give you that extra boost of moisture and tone. So I will read what it says, because this is a new product. It says, a leave-in blonde toning spray using a violet pigment to help eliminate yellow tones. This is a vegan, gluten-free leave-in treatment. It adds conditioning effect, helps to repair and revitalize and nourish blonde hair. So I am just going to spray this all throughout my hair. It does definitely spray purple as well. I don't probably recommend spraying this into completely dry hair, because yeah, it's gonna probably tint it a little bit. So the next product I am going to put in is a heat protection product. Again, they did send me a new one. I do have one that I'm already using, so I'm going to grab some of that. But basically this is argan oil, keratin, panthenol, and vitamin E. This is a thermal protection cream, and it is their smoothing cream. This, oh my god, it's like my holy grail thermal protection. It is so hydrating and nourishing. It really does help to smooth out my hair, and I find that it leaves my hair smoother for longer. It's really good with humidity and stuff like that, and it just keeps it hydrated and just nourished. I really love it. So I'm just basically going to work this in throughout my hair. Oh, my hair's going to feel so good after this. All right, and now what I'm going to do is just blow dry my hair, straighten it, and I will be back. I do recommend as well, when you use a brush in your hair, obviously when it's wet, I still brush my hair, but I'd be very, very gentle. It is really a good investment to get a brush like this. It doesn't have to be this particular one, but a kind of detangling brush. So a brush that has wider spaced bristles and different length bristles in here is going to just glide through your hair so much easier. It's going to prevent you tearing and ripping at your hair. It is just a must if you have really thick, kind of unruly hair that knots easy. Get yourself a detangling brush.
So a little bit of information for when you're blow drying your hair yourself. Firstly, before you section the hair, before you go in with a brush, you want to dry your hair off about 80% before you go in with a brush. If you go in with a brush and start trying to stretch your hair when it's soaking wet, it's going to damage your hair and it's going to take a lot longer. Once your hair is 80% dry, then go in with a brush if you like, or just try your best to smooth it out. Have the blow dry go in the direction that you want your hair to be. Don't like blow dry it upwards if you want your hair to lay flat. Next, when you go in straightening your hair, it's a really good idea to use a comb. Have the comb before the hair straightener to help smooth it out as you go. Don't have to push really hard on the straightener, just go nice and gently, and the slower you go, the more heat is going to be concentrated into your hair and the better result you're going to get. Obviously, don't leave it in the one spot for like 10 seconds. Still keep the straightener moving, but just slow down the pace a little bit. Also, once you've finished a section of your hair, it's a really good idea to get your blow dryer with the cold shot button and basically cool down that section of hair. It's going to keep it smoother, it's going to make it look glossier, shinier, healthier, and stop the humidity from getting to your hair.
Alrighty, feeling so much better. I might actually keep my glasses on so I can see. So I will be using my viewfinder as my mirror, so sorry if I'm not looking right at you, it's easier. Basically how my hair will be once I've straightened it. How much you decide to trim off your own hair if you are doing this at home is up to you. But at the same time, you need to be real. Like if you take a millimeter off your hair and your hair's split or damaged up an inch higher, it's not gonna make a difference. Like you need to cut all that dead off. Of course, if it was for a client's hair and they said, I want a millimeter off, I wouldn't dare go over a millimeter because I'd hate someone to do that to my own hair when you really didn't want it to happen. If you're not sure how much to take off, it's really good to inspect the ends of your hair. I mean, already I feel like my hair's so much shinier, it's moving, it's got texture, but it really does need a good trim. And you can kind of see how the ends are just starting to fray up. Those are the first ones to kind of get fluff and, you know, it just does not look good. So you definitely will need a comb and you'll need some clips and things like that. But if you're unsure how much to take off, the best thing to do is actually just inspect the ends of your hair. So you can pretty much see how all these end bits, like all this stuff here, is just dead. You can see how thick my hair is in this section, and then pretty much around this level it starts to really, sorry it's out of focus, where the ends really start to like drastically get bad. Now I know that is a lot for some people, even for me I'm like, oh, that's so much, but I need to take at least an inch off my hair because it is just absolutely fried. So I will be going through a full head layer cutting tutorial, but I will also show you how to thin out, how to thin out your hair if you need it, and also how to just treat split ends as well. I do have a video based off this technique already. I've done a few videos in the past which really go in depth with it and explain, and I do diagrams and everything. So I will link those below if you're finding that this video isn't explaining things enough, because I know this video is going to be really long already. With doing your own hair at home, there are definitely limitations. I'm not going to be able to get like a super crisp, blunt, dead straight look. If you've got a bob, that's going to be really hard. This is mainly a like increased layer kind of cutting tutorial in a way. If you're not confident in doing it, it is best to go to a salon or start with a little bit and then add more. But basically the first thing I like to do is just trim up my ends. What I like to do is just split my hair in half at the back and then bring it forward. So this is going to give your hair more of an elongated length at the back, because if you want your hair exactly the one length all the way around, when you bring all your hair to the front sections are gonna sit longer than the back, because the hair at the back is stretching further to get to the front, if that makes sense. So because we're gonna cut it directly straight in the front, and it's going to be completely even in the front, hopefully, it is going to end up stretching back and being longer at the back. But that's pretty much the only way I can do my own hair, because I get to the back of my hair to do it. So if you guys can invest in some hairdressing scissors, it doesn't have to be, you know, insane expensive scissors, but even like Priceline, even probably Woolies or Coles will have a cheap versions of hairdressing scissors. They just allow you to have so much more direction and control. Don't go in with big, bulky kind of kitchen scissors, because that's just, no, please don't do that. So basically, I'm going to trace down my hair. So I do like to do point cutting, which is where you cut upwards like this instead of straight across, because I feel like, especially on my own hair, if I make a mistake, there's not this real blunt, harsh line. I can really chip into it and it just diffuses the line a little bit more. All these ends, they're pretty much screwed. So I'm gonna go in and cut them off. Lord, it's looking better already. So of course you want to match it up. It's always best to leave this side a little bit longer, and you can come in and take more off, because if you go shorter this side, you're gonna have to go shorter the other side. Like, how much of an improvement has that already made? So I'm just gonna look straight in the camera. A great way to make sure it's even is go down the same time, and you can kind of gauge. So I think I'll still take a bit more off this side. So I'm not saying that this is going to give you a flawlessly perfect haircut. It is probably a good idea to get someone just to check the back of your hair and make sure it's sitting okay. So much better already. Now I'm going to do layers, because I do have layers in my hair and they're screwed. You can basically feel running your hand through it. You can feel when the texture changes and when it starts to get grippy, and even when you brush your hair, you can feel when it starts to like get to that real kind of, naughty bits. So basically what I like to do is section my hair, bring it all directly straight up, and then cut it off all in the same level. If you've got extremely long hair, you want to make sure that you're not cutting it shorter than the longest lengths. So basically what I'm meaning is these bottom lengths of my hair, the bits of my nape, are the longest parts of my hair. So if I was to pull this all the way up to the top and cut my layers shorter than this, so I'd have very, very short layers. But if you've got very long hair, if I was to cut my layers shorter than this, you're going to end up basically with a mullet, or you're going to end up cutting the entire length of your hair shorter than what you want it to be. So you want to make sure that the layers are definitely longer than this sections of hair, okay? I'm going to move further away from the camera so you guys can hopefully see. So what I like to do is start on the crown of my head and basically pull my hair directly straight up, and then you can kind of pull it down and see exactly where you're at, so you can see all those nasty ends. It's going to be very, very hard to trim your hair like up like this, so if you clamp your fingers together, then you can move it. You can even move it in front of your face, and the length, the straightness isn't going to change because you've already clamped together with your fingers. It just makes it so much easier. Yes, take a section on the crown. Don't work with massive sections because it's going to make it too hard for you. Alrighty, so I'm going to, oh, these layers have got long. Alright, so I'm going to take at least this much off, as you guys can see. So basically, point cut. Done. Now this bit is going to be your guide for the rest of the hair. So because you've already cut this, you already know what length the other layers are going to sit at. So keeping this hair here, take your next section and basically comb it forwards to be on the same level. Now you don't want to move this new section further forwards like this, like when you're clamping it, or have it further back. You want to try and keep it in the same kind of angle that your original section was at. So when you clamp, you should be able to see your old layer still poking through there. So that is where you take off this next section. So the sections of hair are gradually going to get less and less and less. So you're gradually going to be cutting off less and less and less as you move your way down the head, because those bottom sections of hair are not going to be long enough. So basically, using that initial section as a guide, you're going to continue this all throughout your hair. So I'm moving to the side of the back of my head now. And what I like to do when I start working around the sides, instead of taking kind of horizontal sections like this, I like to start taking vertical sections. And that way is a really good way to cross-check how your hair is as well, because it still should be horizontal when you've pulled it up here. If you've got big kind of dips happening or big, long, chunky sections, you'll know. So you can see my original kind of layer. It just helps a lot. So yeah, it should still be horizontal across the top there. And again, the same counts if you have short layers or really long pieces. If you include around the hair around your fringe in this, you're going to be cutting layers in around your face. So bear that in mind if you don't want layers around your face. So I do like to leave just like these initial pieces out, and I just layer that with my hands. God, I'm getting hot. Oh, look at my skin. Oh, getting a bit sweaty. Oh my gosh, it is feeling so much better already. Like, I haven't done anything around my face yet, but already it's just like my hands are gliding through it. And then this side that I haven't cut yet, like, it's like literally pulling. So I'm going to do this back section on the side that we haven't done yet.
Do this all night. Keep on second guessing our love, oh love. I don't really care if you don't mind. Baby, we can do this all night. We can do it all night. We can do it.
The next thing I am going to do is just thin out my hair a little bit. I do have quite thick hair. This is definitely optional. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. So thinning scissors, it is a good idea to get more of a fine one, which means there are multiple little prongs in here and not just a few. This is just going to help it blend a lot better. So I find a majority of my bulk is actually in the midsections to the top part of my head. So what I'm going to do is just take those kind of side angles and go in and just thin it out a little bit, mainly mid-length and ends. You don't want to go up near the roots. You can do this by slicing with your hair, which is basically when you use your normal scissors and just like glide through. But it's going to be really hard to do on your own, so these ones are the way to go. So basically I'm just going to go in and just do probably 2 little slices as I work down my hair, and that's just going to thin out that bulk without removing length. So I know it kind of seems scary. Make sure you're definitely grabbing the right scissors as well, but it just makes it so much better and so much more manageable. And you can basically feel that hair coming out when you comb it through. So this is a really good way just to spot treat where you feel like you need it. Always err on the side of caution, don't overdo it. And of course, if you like more texture in the ends, you can mainly go in and just chip away at the ends with these scissors as well. All right, so another little thing I like to do as well, because the top part of my hair does get quite thick, I am going to leave out the front section, but basically take this whole section, like look how thick that is. What I'm gonna do is just give it a little bit of a twist. And then mid-lengths and ends, I'm going to chip into this, and that will just help to thin it out with my texturizing scissors. Because we've twisted the hair, it just gives it a more kind of diffused line. You're not going to be missing big chunks here or there. I mean, you won't anyway with these scissors, but it just helps a lot. So I just went through that 4 times, 4 different sections. Now I'm just combing out that excess hair, and that just really softens and loosens up your hair. What I'm going to do next is just layer around my face, and then we're going to go in and spot treat any leftover split ends. Back to my normal scissors, glide through. So I do this little rocking motion with my scissors like this, and you just slowly kind of chip in and glide through the hair. Trim up and frame my face. I mean, I do like to grow these layers, but at the same time, they're not going to grow if they keep breaking off. So I only do a tiny, tiny bit, and you can definitely point cut like this if that is easier for you. Definitely one side's going to be easier to do than the other. And if you definitely want them even, you can like pull them across and make sure they're even, but I'm not really too pedantic about that. Can't believe how red my face is, man. Getting hot. This is what I look like when I work out. My face goes red, yay. All right, so that is feeling so much better. The last little thing, as I said, is to spot treat for split ends. So this is going to be hard to do in this light, but you can go section by section, starting at the very base of your hair. And basically what you want to do is lay your hair as flat as possible, grab your scissors and have it parallel with your hair. And basically any additional piece you're going to cut off. So you don't want to cut into your hair, and just cut off any of those little pieces that are flicking up. So I do find working against the grain of your hair, those pieces will flick up.
I did just want to say as well, there are tools such as like split end hair trimmers or split enders. I personally haven't used them myself, so I can't say if they're good or not. If you guys want a review, let me know and I'll see if I can get my hands on it. But this may be something that you could use that could work.
It is honestly feeling so much better. So the last thing I would recommend doing is just you yourself going into another, a good place of light, having a feel, putting your hair up, like a test pony, and just seeing if you need anything extra taken out, thinned out, get another mirror and check the back of the hair and just see how it's all sitting and how it's looking, and then you're done. So there you have it. My hair honestly feels a million times better. Obviously I have styled it a little bit differently, just added some soft curls into it. I feel like the color is brighter and fresher. It looks like I've just basically gone to a salon when I haven't. The condition of my hair feels better, like the ends. My hair doesn't feel like it's gripping or anything like that, and it just feels so much more manageable. There's more shine on there, and I feel like it's really brought it back from the dead, basically. So as I said at the start of this video, this is going to be part of a giveaway. I have held some giveaways in the past with 18 and 1, and they have been so generous enough this time around again to do another 5 giveaways, or 5 winners of the giveaway. I'm really excited. I'm just going to pull up the details. We've been messaging each other. Hi. They're going to be giving away 5 18-in-1 hair care packs, including the Intense Violet Duo Pack, Detox Shampoo and Conditioner, and the styling range. So all of the terms and conditions and everything like that are going to be listed in the description box below, but I will mention them here as well, just in case you don't want to read down there. So this is going to be a Australian only giveaway. I'm really sorry for all of my international rainbows. It's just due to shipping the liquids and the products internationally that is a little bit tricky, and obviously gets very expensive as well. So it is open to Australians only, and it will be held over on Instagram. Again, YouTube's guidelines and everything can again be quite tricky with giveaways, so it is on YouTube, so that's just explaining why. And I know a lot of people do get disappointed that they don't have Instagram or whatever, but I'm sorry, that's the go. So there will be a Instagram post going live. I will link it down in the description box below, or even just pin it in the comments. You must comment on that post. Also be following AMR Hair Beauty, 18-in-1, and myself on Instagram to enter. And the giveaway is going to be running for 4 days, and then the winners will be selected at random. You will be notified by DM, and just make sure that, if you do enter, we need a shipping address and all that kind of jazz to send you out your goodies. So just make sure that you're happy with that, or if you still live at home, your parents are happy with that. So yes. Anyway, rainbows, thank you for watching. I know that this is quite a long video. Thank you for hanging in there, and I really hope that this has helped you with your hair care journey. It is really important to keep up to date with hair care, and I know I'm like my own worst enemy because I don't really do that. I need to actually practice what I preach and start doing it more often. But the more you do it, the more kind of regular trims you can have, every 6 to 8 weeks, usually they recommend. just a tiny little trim is going to help the condition and the health of your hair. Even just if you use the split end technique and just tackle your split ends is amazing. You know, just try and be gentle with your hair, treat it with care, use good products on it. The 18-in-1 range is incredible, and for a salon brand they are very, very affordable as well. You may not think that there's a difference between like Woolies products or stuff you can buy at Kohl's, but there is. Trust me, I've seen it in action. I've seen reactions happen with colors and things like that. Like, having salon quality products is actually so much better for your hair. It's going to perform better, you're going to use less product, and it'll last longer. But anyway, if you guys enter the giveaway, you have a chance to try it for your own. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.